And with that, we were live once again on a Friday afternoon. It is Friday. You cannot imagine my great and incredible relief at this being Friday. My project has been kicking my butt day after day after day after day after day. And management was not happy with how long it was taking, and they had a I know it's heart to heart with me that include pitchforks and pit bulls. So I said, you know what? I don't care what happens. I am just going to crank these out. And may not be the best that I've ever done, but they're done. So there's one left. I have to do that in the studio next week. But that project, for all intents and purposes, is off my plate. The other project I am completely caught up with. And so Friday comes as a blessing. It is a breather, a brain break. There's still work to be done. There's always work to be done. But however, there's a downside. Even though I worked till 3:30 this morning, getting the last ones pushed up to where they need to go. Super boomy mic, huh? I might be able to adjust that a little bit. Boom, boom, boom. I'm going to move this. It's going to wang and tang and so forth. But excuse me. So I was working till very, very early in the morning to get everything off my plate. And you know me, I still get up early. There's always stuff to do. Turn up the distortion, huh? How about I move that one down and this one down? Check, check. Okay. You're happy campers. Thank you. Sorry about that. My desk is a mess. Nothing has happened that I'm supposed to do around the house during this project. So if the camera were behind me, you would throw up and say, God, what a pig. And you would be right. So things actually kind of pile up and contact the knobs on my mixer as I touch them. So anyways, glad to be here. Glad it's Friday. Glad it's Friday. Oh yeah. So the whole point of this thing is, yes, I worked very late last night, early this morning, depending on how you look at it. And the same is true for every other night this week. And so I had a program. I had a project, and I never touched it. I never researched it. I could spit it off the top of my head, but I don't have the systems out and constructed and ready to demonstrate. And so no show today. The show, no project today. How's that? So it's going to be a short show. We'll do an hour. And if things, continue and drag it on beyond that, we'll do that. But if they don't, there's only 6 of us here right now. I'm one of us. So, okay. So let's see what's going on. All 6 of you, 3 of you are doing all the chatting here. Hello, it turns up as ever and always 30 minutes prior to show. I just saw before I flipped over and flipped the switch on your post about a cheap M2. I want to know a lot more about it. I know Sabrent as an enclosure company, right? They make housings for external SSDs, including M2s. I got my son last year an external M2 drive, excuse me, for his computer. Well, of course, there's no such thing as an external M2 drive. So I got him an M2 drive and an M2 USB chassis. You can put that in. It makes it small and easy and portable and so forth. So I know, and I'm happy with them as far as enclosures go, but I would need to know a little more about them before I was comfortable saying, yeah, I really think their SSDs are awesome. They may or may not be. Andre de Goyer, good evening. It is evening for you. Blue Lantern, back amongst the living. Abu Bakr Al-Haj, interesting question you posed on Discord yesterday. When I see a question like that posted, I didn't see your name. Why is somebody concerned that the government would see their stuff? And I share your concern. I did everything that I do. I guess the difference between you and I is you wonder if it's possible. And I saw Steve posted a response that says it's possible, but there's other ways. And the question is whether or not it's legal. Well, we know that illegal happens all the time, and people access your data, whether they're supposed to or not, whether they're bad guys or supposed good guys. So the difference between you and I is you asked about that. Can they, will they, would they? My natural assumption is they can, they will, they do. So I keep my nose clean. We all should. Super boomy mic. I was just before show, I was looking at the mic. I love this microphone. I really love this microphone, but I don't like the compressive shock mount on a pole. So don't want to turn that. Nah. So I'm on the hunt for the correct shock mount for this. It's the yoke type, and then it's got a shock mount suspended between the yoke. And they are silly expensive, utterly silly. I may have my kid 3D print me one. Let's see what we can accomplish in plastic. My i7 11700K came in yesterday. Congratulations, you are ready to construct. So I'm glad that it didn't burn up in the fiery wreck of the UPS truck or the FedEx truck, whichever that was. I was up in Lubbock. I get there 4 times a year, give or take. And it's pretty much the same route, but every now and again, I'll take a different route out of town just to see what there is to see on the outskirts and things like that. And I drove past, in the last couple trips, 3 very interesting things. One of them, 2 trips ago, driving out of town, and I went past I don't know if you call it a junkyard or a steel scrapyard, but there were dozens and dozens and dozens of Walmart trailers, the big 53-foot trailers from a tractor trailer, that had obviously all of them been in accidents. They were, smashed in on their sides and curved, and some had obviously tilted over. It was the Walmart trailer graveyard. It was very interesting. And then on this last trip, the missus and I went up during daylight hours and came home during daylight hours. So it was a nice view. And we got to see 2 things that were fascinating. I have always had an interest, since I've encountered these things, in wind turbine blades, the big commercial monsters. They don't last forever. They're made of fiberglass and aluminum and whatever. Birds hit them. They are affected by ultraviolet and heavy winds and rains and all the other good stuff. And so I've always been curious what happens to them when they get retired. And when I looked that up for the first time a few years ago, the answer is there's no good answer. They can't repurpose them other than, yard art, 50 feet long. And then a couple of years ago, I saw this headline article. They have a solution now, what to do with old wind turbine blades. Yes, I charged into the article to read it. Oh, what we do is we chop them up into small pieces, and then we mix them in with asphalt, and they become part of road surface. Big deal. They do that with everything. So that was disappointing. So on the trip up there this past week, 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, we found a graveyard of wind turbine blades that had been chopped up into, I don't know how long the segments were, maybe 15 feet long, something like that. So I don't know what they're going to do with them. It was, we traveling on a weekend or a holiday or something like that, so I couldn't stop in and ask. But next time I run that route, I will do it on a weekday, and I will stop in there and ask them. And then the other thing related to wind turbines, there's this massive wind turbine farm on the way to the kids' college. There's about 3,000 wind turbines up there, and they're a lot of fun to watch and listen to. And wind turbines take out a lot of birds. If you look underneath a wind turbine, you will find lots and lots of bird bodies, not right underneath because they hit them and then they get flung. So sorry, I know that I break your heart. I'm sorry.
But the kid and I, he's a mechanical engineer, or will be in 4 more months. Yay. At least a degreed one. We we had theories on how they get these things up on the mounting pillars. And turns out we were wrong. How's that? So what they do is the big box that's a generator that gets mounted first, right? Obviously, they put the pillar up and then they use a crane and people on and in slings and things like that up on top, wrenching them in. All right, now the turbine itself is up there. Now we get the blades up there. And my theory was they would rotate the rotor, the hub, and using a crane or something like that, mount one blade and then rotate it and do another and rotate it and do another. There are technical problems with that, I understood, but that was my solution, and kid generally agreed with me. So we were very pleased to discover one being assembled and going up. What they do is they take the hub and the 3 blades and assemble them flat on the ground, and then big crane lifts it up, and once it's lifted high enough, I went totally out of focus there, then they rotate it. Of course, it's got 3 blades on it, and made it up against the rotor, and some poor schlub up there and in a crane whatever starts wrenching it in. So it was really interesting. I know, had nothing to do with today, but tech is talk. How did I get there from Blue Lantern getting a CPU in? All right, sorry that the audio was odd. Looks like we got that fixed. I just super scrolled. Yay, things are working normally. Betland is here. Betland. We see a lot of names and a lot of faces here, and I don't remember them all. So Betland, if you're new here, and I think you are, at least based on my very poor memory, welcome to the show, which I haven't even introduced yet. Let me do a little bit of the rest of the catch up here, and then we'll intro the show, huh? I'm distracted today, and I'm exhausted. Oh my gosh, I'm exhausted. It is Happy Friday. What's the point of an external M2? An external NVMe would be pointless. I completely agree with you. However, a SATA, an M2 SATA, is wonderful because of the form factor. You know, it's like a flash drive, only it's 87,000 times faster. They're about the same size, so they're compact, they're very portable. So quite practical. And when USB 6, whatever the next generation of it is, comes out, it's fast enough to handle NVMe speeds, so we can do NVMe too. That's going to be very cool. You guys have that conversation going, and this one. If your lawmakers are cheating on their wives, would you want the intelligence agency to blackmail them when it comes to making laws? You wouldn't. I agree with you. What is that related to? I have this philosophy, and you know, this is going to be offensive to someone, but I just don't care. I'm too tired to be woke today. I won't vote for a politician who has a proven track record of cheating. Okay, if a politician is willing to cheat on their spouse, who the heck are you by comparison? They will cheat you left and right all day and all night. Doesn't mean I don't vote for politicians who cheat. I'm sure I do. That's just I don't know about it. As soon as I know about it, I don't care. Oh, good. Here we go again. Let's go wipe out the bad guy. Okay. All gone. Got him within 3 messages. Oh, and then we get to do this. I don't know why I bothered to issue the report to, but there you go. We'll send a report. There. Blue Lantern. That's why you don't want government recording all your info. Remember, sure. That's why, because you're concerned about being blackmailed. I'll give you 47 reasons why I don't want the government recording me or mine or whatever. And it's the same reason that I want Google to, or anybody else. Me, I believe in the right to privacy, which doesn't exist in the Constitution, but it's been inferred and it's generally been codified. The problem, says Andre de Goyer, with wind turbines, because he's Dutch, all right? They got the wooden windmills and the wooden shoes, and they pump out the swamps. I'm sorry. Don't let me do shows when I'm wiped out. It's just not good for anybody. Anyways, the problem with wind turbines is the material they use to make the blades. They're not recyclable, generally accurate. TD Washington, my good friend. Is there a setting for Android phones to favor your home Wi-Fi when in range? When I'm out, my phone switches to mobile or Xfinity public Wi-Fi, but doesn't switch back when I get home. Okay. The answer is yes, ordinarily. I'm getting thrown here because I don't know how the Xfinity service works. I don't know if that's if it's treated like one of any of the other carriers, T-Mobile and Verizon and all of those other ones. AT&T, that's the other one that's coming to my mind. Because what should happen, and on all my Android phones, in fact, I just wrote and shot a lab on this last night, is by default, whenever you're in range of a Wi-Fi that you've set up, of an SSID that you've set up with account names, it should automatically grab on. It is certainly the case with my phone. So here I am at Happy Home, and it's connected to my SSID, my Wi-Fi. When I get out the front door, it connects to my cellular carrier. When I get to the office, it disconnects from the cellular carrier and connects to the office Wi-Fi. So why yours isn't doing that, I don't know. I can't think of a reason why it is. There's a setting in there somehow, somewhere, because it certainly should. And that may be a setting that, look, when you get a phone, let's go back here. So Galaxy says, we're going to make a new model of phone this year. It's going to be the Galaxy S1000. And it has to be customized for the carriers that are going to support it. That means different frequencies, and that means some other different things. It's got different databases on where the cell towers are. They get updated when updates happen and so forth. And so they do some of that customization, and then they hand it off, the software, the code, the version of Android, to T-Mobile's programmers, and T-Mobile adds features, changes default settings, adds functions. And so it may be something that Xfinity has included. I don't know where you got your phone, if it's jailbroken is not the right term, I guess, unless it's an iPhone. No, you said Android. I don't know. You got me. I would go check the Xfinity support forums. Just look for that as a phrase. You'll find something, and look up and see if anybody's got the same problem. Post that as a problem. Bring it up over on Discord. Some of the folks over there, they may have a handle on it. And if and when I get back over there, I will gladly look that up for you too. You've piqued my curiosity. Sorry, wish I could be more helpful. They were back, they're gone. No pumps, no Netherlands, at least less. Sorry, man, all I can see in the Netherlands is old Dutch paintings of windmills. 2 nights ago, I took a brain break, did a little channel surfing, and ran across the 1937 Shirley Temple movie, Heidi. I'd read the book as a child. I never saw the movie. And I made it about halfway through the movie, and I just was desperate to watch the whole movie. It was wonderful. It was fantastic. But I had work to do. I plowed back into here. But my missus, she stayed in and watched the whole movie, and came out with all the feels. It's just a good movie from what I saw. Certainly a good story. And we get to see all of our characters dancing and singing in wooden shoes and dirndls. Yeah. Okay. Well, if something changed during an update, there's either really good news or really bad news. It may have been a setting that changed, in which case all you gotta do is find it and reset it. Or it may be something permanent internal that changed in the firmware and you're stuck with it. I don't have the answer for that. No, I agree with you, Blue Lantern. Just because I don't have something to hide doesn't mean I'm an open book. Nobody gets to look into my private life, even if I'm not doing something nefarious. Jim Jam, I'm a disabled veteran. Thank you for your service, sir. Is it possible to start a good career in IT working solely remote? It is hard. Okay, it's possible. It is certainly possible. There are those who do it, but there are many, 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 many more people who do it either as a hybrid, sometimes go in, sometimes not. And obviously those who go into work or, are traveling servicers or something like that. So let me point you in a direction. Sorry, I'm reading Blue Lantern's message here. I know nothing about that, so I'll take that on faith and with a grain of salt. But head over to Reddit /r/CompTIA. There's more than CompTIA discussions on there. There are job hunt discussions, and I see a number of mill vets. Obviously, look in the job hunting sites. Okay, look for IT remote, veteran status preferred. If you still have an active clearance, there is an organization called Clearance Jobs that has all kinds of assistance and help, and they're looking for people all the time. Reddit.com/r/CompTIA. And of course, come on over to our Discord channel. We've got a job hunt there with people sharing their experience and knowledge and things that they find. Let me post some stuff up right now. How are we doing on time here? 22. Yeah, now's a good time to post all of the links for all the fun stuff. So first link going up, this is my PyR² server, pyrsquare.zapto.org. It's a little handy dandy server that's sitting right in front of me. It's available on Friday morning through Sunday night and on request. You can send me an email. I'll put my emails up here in a second. You will find all the documents that I use to create projects and shows. There's nothing for today because I'm not doing a project today, but I think that's probably happened in grand total in the last 120 episodes 6 times. That's how it goes sometimes. Then the unofficial Total Seminars Discord channel. It is unofficial because Total Seminars has nothing to do with owning or operating it. It was just named after Total Seminars because some people liked Mike's show and said, hey, we want to talk more about it. So there is the permalink just posted for that. Enjoy specials this week. We got specials. And what a shock. It's the same specials as they were last week. 50% off a bundle that you create based on one of 7 areas of study, either A+ or Net+ or Security Plus or Cybersecurity Analyst Plus, Pen Test Plus, and AWS Systems Architecture Associate. What you do is you go to totalsem.com. This is all described in my little post there. And you pick one of those areas of study and you get 2 things that are for that subject. You get the ebook, doesn't work with the hard copy book, and put that in your basket. And then the total tester for that same subject. Total tester is what we call our online practice test. You put both of those in your basket, and then when you check out in the place for putting discount codes, you put in the code for this week, which is Columbus, COLUMBUS, all lowercase, and you will get 50% off of those 2 already incredibly inexpensive items. That discount code is good through this Sunday night, December 11th. And after that, we'll do a new discount code and discount program, hopefully next week. What else is here? Okay, email addresses. Ways to contact me. I'm always on at the Total Discord channel. If I'm awake and or my computer's on, it's logged in. And if you ping me, at drush or Dave R, whatever I am over there, my computer will wonk. It doesn't do that right now because people discovered the very fun game of making Dave's computer go wonk, wonk while he's doing the show. So I mute those servers when the show is on. And that's how it goes. Okay, so I put my email links, drushtx@yahoo.com and daveR@totalsem.com. I also put my LinkedIn profile up there. If you're not following me and you haven't linked with me, you want to do that by the end of the year. Stuff coming up by the end of the year that will really help you out staying abreast of things that I've got going on and projects and things like that. So please link with me or at least follow me on LinkedIn. I got stuff coming up for you in January that will be very, very useful and helpful to you. I shot past some stuff. Okay, so I see a number of folks talking about Jim Jam's situation and search. Andre. That's interesting. If you're a disabled vet and you get a remote job, you lose your disc pay. I didn't know that. Okay. Jim Jam says, there you go. So Blue Lantern's brother can't. Well, your brother's a bigger loser. No, I'm sorry about your brother's disability as well. Yes, you can find remote work. It's tougher. Okay, your mobile carrier, TD, is AT&T. My home Wi-Fi was Xfinity, but recently changed to Verizon. I want to auto-connect to Verizon Wi-Fi when I get back to home. You got me there. There's enough mixed metaphors in there that when there was only one involved, I was confused. Now I'm beyond, but I will do more research on that after this. Right. So your question stands. So yes, the answer is it can be done. You will need to check out all the job sites. Number one job site these days is LinkedIn. You can do searches on there and, set up a number of searches up there and it'll provide you, it'll spit out jobs all the time. LinkedIn, I said already. Indeed, I would say number two. Monsters out there. What's the other one you're using, Mother? You're using Indeed and who else? LinkedIn. I'm sorry, LinkedIn. That was it. ZipRecruiter, right? ZipRecruiter. So those are the big trifecta. ZipRecruiter, LinkedIn, and Indeed. So look for IT jobs on there. Look for veteran status. Look for remote, and set up searches so that they spit some information out to you. And obviously, the kind of job that you want, right? You want to be IT support or something like that. Then that's the type of keywords that you add into your search. Can be done. It will be challenging. Yes, it will be a short show today. I will do 1 hour and then I will go as long as you guys want after that, but I'm not going to purposely drag it out to 2 hours because I don't have a project. Okay, Tullowit. I also have an announcement. It's not just about short show, right? You already figured it out, but I'll do it formally here shortly. Sure, my pleasure. Best of luck to you, sir. Man, Jim Jam, 99.75% chance you are a sir. Or a ranking sir who is not built like the guys. I'm sorry, I'm just going down a bad road. Never mind. Shut me up. Andre, no, we don't wonk your system. We are nice people and we love pranking. Pranking, that's almost as good as wonking. Hey, well, anyways, this is Friday. It's Pi Day Friday, my favorite day of the week, my favorite 2 hours of the week. And we get together here every Friday to talk about CompTIA certifications and how to use Raspberry Pis in those certifications. It's a live open communication session, and I'll take questions on anything. It doesn't have to be those things, as long as they're generally technology or at least not religion, politics. Might include sex. I'll talk sex. I don't care. So I am Dave Rush. I'm the senior instructor at Total Seminars. This is an Ask Me Anything. You put those together, Dave Rush, Ask Me Anything, and you get drama. This is drama or Friday, and we do this every 2 o'clock, every Friday at 2 o'clock on this very channel that you're looking at right now. It's the Total Seminars YouTube channel, which is undergoing a lot of changes here now with the merger, and Mike's going to morph his show, and my show is going to morph, and. But we have just more fun than we possibly deserve. This is, if you're watching this not live on archive, Friday, December 9th. We are a third of the way through December and more than 11/12 of the way through 2022. Can you believe it? 3 weeks, and we start 2023. If you didn't see Mike's show 2 days ago with his favorite guest these days, Steve Nicholson, go catch it. He talked about the role of Active Directory in CompTIA, in A+ certifications, and in just general. It's fascinating. I don't find Active Directory fascinating, but when those two get together, they could talk about anything. They could talk about sheep shearing, and it's just mesmerizing. So do catch that show. Expect to see Steve a lot more in the future, taking over some of Mike's shows. He doesn't know what his schedule is going to be when school starts again. Right now, his schedule only allowed him to do Wednesdays. And usually if Mike had to take a day off, it was on a Monday, so I would cover. So we'll see what happens in the future, but whoever's available or most available will pick up any absences that Mike has. Has very few, and we hope he has never any more. This is show number 120. I know. And we just blah, notes. I'm not going to read all that junk. I got things to talk about with you today and things for you to talk about with me. What's the body count looking like? Oh, wow. We're just zooming right along. I did that. So easiest way to contact me, of course, is here live if you're watching the show. And if you're not here live, if you're watching this on the archive, catch me on the email address that I posted, and or LinkedIn, and or the Discord server. I'll post those up again one more time before the show ends. Don't need that because with no project today, we've already port forwarded the PyR Square server. I do want to mention here where we've been and where we're going a little bit. So last week, we installed Mix, M-I-X-X-X, on a Raspberry Pi. Mix is free and open source software that is DJ mixing software, but it goes well beyond that. But last week's show was all about showing you how to install it and then showing you a little bit about how it operates with and without a DJ controller. So I wasn't trying to turn it into a DJ class. That takes months and lots of practice, but I wanted to expose you to it. I also expressed some disappointment last week in that I had attempted to contact the, I'm losing the correct title, the lead developer, to ask him to join us either during the show or on a following show so that we could talk about not just the Mix software. That's cool, and I'm certainly going to ask him a couple of questions about it, but I think a number of you out there are wannabe programmers and coders and contributors to code bases. And that's what FOSS is about, free and open source software. It's a community of people who work collaboratively to create and improve software products like Mix and like so many others. You know, some of the biggest distros that you play with in Linux are FOSS, and they're developed by a core cadre of developers in-house and by tremendous amounts of participants outside. And so I wanted to find out what it's like being a contributor in an environment like that as a coder, and being an inside contributor, kind of sort of inside. It's a loose, that one is a fairly loose relationship. So I never heard back from him. I wrote him a couple of times. 2 days ago, I'm looking through spam. You know, I never, ever get spam on my company email. They got marvelous filters, but there was something that I've been looking for and I haven't gotten it. I didn't want to pester the person I was waiting for. So I'll look in my spam, and one piece of spam mail. And unfortunately for me, it was, it came just a couple of days ago after I mentioned him. He said, look, sorry, I wasn't able to get to you. Yes, my schedule is suicidal, but here are 2 of my co-developers who are excellent choices. And so I've started the dialogue with them. We will have at least one developer from Mix join the show. I don't know when. I'm pushing. I never push. Okay, I get in touch with somebody and I say, look, whatever your schedule works, let's say sometime in the next 3 months. But I want to get a lot of stuff accomplished and out of the way by the end of the year. We have a guest coming up next Friday, so that date is hosed. The final Friday of the year, I've got something special there, so I don't want to guest on that one. So the only date left is December 23rd, which is the Friday before the Christmas weekend. So that's really hard to ask somebody to come on my show, take an hour out of your life or 2 hours out of your life, and come talk development. But you know, there's incentives for them, there's incentives for you, there's incentives for me. So I put the bite on them. Okay, I was nice, obviously, and but I begged mercilessly, please. So I hope we will have 1 or 2 guests on the 23rd. We definitely have 2 guests coming up on the 16th of this month, and special stuff on the last day of the year. If you're going to be in, that is what, day before New Year, something like that. Yeah, December 30th is a Friday, so Saturday is New Year's Eve. Sunday is New Year's Day. I missed Will. Thank you, Will. I missed Will. He was in town yesterday, and we were planning on getting together. He had a long day in town from Delta, Will Shaw. And then this project came up, and I had 3 meetings yesterday, and this project that I literally put 16 hours into yesterday. So I had to blow him off. He's coming in again on Sunday. It's a little later show and we won't get much time together, but I am getting face to face with Will Shaw on January 1st on Sunday. So I will report back how it goes. All right. So that's it. That's where we're going today. We're not doing a project, but we're laying out guests. Did it. All right. Let's go back to the chat feed. See who's joining. You know, we're pretty well dead here. The holidays are amongst us, upon us, and it's just a handful of you folks here all shooting the breeze together. We'll always have Paris. Cancel proof, huh? Yeah. And I walked out of my meetings with the office yesterday and thinking I've probably been canceled now, but I survived another day. Found it in settings, network and internet network preferences, turn on Wi-Fi automatically. You are a technician. This is what technicians do. Absolutely outstanding. You hunt, you peck, you find settings. If you don't know what they mean, you look them up, but they obviously, based on the menus that you go through, give you a pretty good idea of what they're about. So TD Washington, huge. Let's make it a big round of applause. Well done. I am very pleased for you. Congratulations. That's just great. Do you think you'll ever turn comments on for non-live viewers? No, we've had them on in the past and we never paid attention to them. We don't go back and look for them and re-answer questions. And then one day I just happened to be doing that, and the Russian bots pack that thing up. So I spent a couple of weeks, a couple hours a day for weeks cleaning those out, and we have therefore then and forever onward turned off non-live comments. We're a target. We got a lot of viewers. 2 more weeks of working and then a week of rebuilding my home network. I'm with you. My wife asked me what I wanted for Christmas. I told her all I wanted for Christmas is food. Very good. Hopefully with pineapple on it. EMH is back. Our favorite emergency medical hologram. My organization had a job posting for a computer analyst. The pay was $55. I applied, then closed the post and reopened it. And now it offers less. Do I apply again? I don't know. Is it still a raise? I applied and then they closed the post and reopened it and offered less. Yes. Yes, you apply. Salaries are negotiable. Okay, they're looking to see if somebody will come in and bite on the lower thing. And look, it's great interview practice. It's a great way if it's your organization to express your desire to move up. That usually carries weight. And so, so when it comes to it, then there's a couple questions that you'll have to answer and your company will have to answer. Is the new rate better for you? What, when, is that hard? Is there negotiability? How long until I could get to that 55? Yes, I think you apply. I'll be done between Christmas and Sylvester. I don't know that term other than it's a putty tat. Early 20s. Somebody just wonked. So the only time I get wonks from that when I have the show on is when somebody personally sends me something. And that usually means, Dave, there's a Russian bot looking at you or something like that. So let me look. 2 messages specifically addressed to me. I'm going to ignore the one in the general forum in Raspberry Pi. We'll look at the one that was person to person. Well, it is what you think it is. Oh, no. It's not that. It's not that. Okay. I'll tell everybody about it here in the next few moments. Okay. I'll be Sylvester. You want spam in your mailbox? Yeah, I do not want spam in my mailbox. You know what was really weird why I was doing it? I was wrong. It wasn't that I was waiting for someone. There was a sim that I had to shoot, and it was how to identify a phishing email. And somebody sent me a script that they used for clicks, and they had received some phishing email purportedly from a bank. And I get emails like that all the time on my Yahoo account and on some other accounts that I have. And I thought, well, let me go see if I get any spam or have gotten spam lately in my company account. And there was none. It was the just the message from RJ. But I went to one of my other many email addresses and found a marvelous piece of phishing email purported to be from Intuit, the accounting software company. I won't spoil it. I shot it last night. It was a lot of fun. And if you get Sims for the new A+ when they come out, they will be out in very short order now because everybody was waiting on me pretty much. I'll let you see it then, but you'll know in advance that Dave's Sim is about a phishing email that's supposed to be from Intuit. 44. I do got things to do and things to talk about here. I would make musubi with it. Here again, my Dutch is a little weak because I'm so tired. Normally I'm utterly fluent in Dutch, but today I don't know what musubi is. That's the hot green mustard that you put on Chinese and Japanese food, right? Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm wrong. That's a Japanese car manufacturer. I got it. Okay. Not at all, TD. I'm so happy for you. Ask for the original salary. Okay, Sylvester is New Year. Thank you. Evil wonkers. Yes, I knew I shouldn't have said it. You know what? Kudos to you. If you're watching the show and you haven't sent me a personal message on Discord, and better yet, if you haven't joined Discord yet, go join Discord right now and send me a direct message. I will look at it. Oh, wasabi. Okay. Wasabi is the foreign car. Yeah, I know. Sim sounds like the game. Okay, well, let's get then into the other stuff that we got to talk about. Heute, little German for today. Yeah, Deutsch. All right, two pieces of news. I got involved with a discussion on CompTIA Reddit a couple of weeks ago. This wasn't anything curmudgeonly or anything like that. It was a nice conversation. Somebody asked for a piece of advice and I offered my 2 cents, and man, that it just exploded. They ate it up. They love that advice. And it was a question about how do I learn ports, right? And you know, our standard mantra here, you learn ports not by memorizing them. Oh, denn wir Deutsch sprechen, yeah? You got to use stuff. And so I gave a little presentation that's, you know, why don't you take a virtual machine or a Raspberry Pi or something like that and install some Linux flavor on there, and then start out by installing a web server and a copy of Wireshark. And then let's just watch the traffic go back and forth. You know, use your browser and connect to that web server and look for the port 80 stuff. And then install a certificate and watch for the port 443, and then install this kind of server and watch it, right? And just use this stuff, change around the ports, go into the configuration files, and instead of port 80, make it port 8080. And they love that. And I'm not unknown on CompTIA Reddit, sadly. Dave, I've seen your projects. You've never done a project like that. Well, I have, but I've never done a project where we do a bunch of servers just for that purpose. And so I left that with the commitment to the community that I will, in January, create a project where we can install a pile of servers on a Raspberry Pi that covers many, certainly not all, but many of the ports that you have to know for A+. I'll probably do another server down the road for Net Plus, and likewise for Sec Plus, and find a place where I can set that up as an image so people can just download the image and burn it to their Raspberry Pi. They don't have to go through all the steps of all that installing. And I will write labs about it on how to change the ports on various protocols and fun, and how to set up active FTP versus passive FTP. Many of those labs I've written for other targets, some of our students and teachers who we provide Pi products to. So that's my January project. It's a semi-personal project, but I will discuss it here. And when I find a place to host it and you can download and burn it, I'll let everybody know. All right, so that's one of the news, tricks, and techniques of the week. Other interesting news, tricks, and techniques of the week. This is very, very hard for me. I've been basically putting it off for the whole show, but it's 48 minutes past the hour, so it's time to face it head on. I have unhappy news. Drama exists to fill a void that existed in part because of the COVID lockdowns. At that time when Mike and I started doing shows, our viewership was enormous because everybody was locked at home. They wanted to study. Well, those days are gone. Both of our viewerships for what our programs were designed to be is gone. Okay, we don't need to get people through, help out with A+ studying or how to use a Raspberry Pi to foster Net Plus studying anymore. And so it is with horrible, terrible sadness that I announced today, this is totally my decision. This wasn't anything that came down from upstairs, that this is the last month of drama. Okay, the final show is going to be on Friday, December 30th. I'm not going away. The show is not going away. By the end of January, I will have reformulated a new show that will probably be a Raspberry Pi show. We will just do projects that are fun and interesting and practical and not necessarily tied to CompTIA exam studies. Some of them will, but it's going to be Dave Rush's Raspberry Pi show. But drama, the end is nigh. So it hurts, man. That's almost as tough as losing a dog. And I had the discussion here with the family, and I've shared it with Mike, and I told my boss, and nobody objected. that's, nobody said, Dave, the show is so good. You can't quit. No, I refuse to allow you to quit. Nobody said that. Yeah, okay, if you think that's the way to go. Thank you very much. And may all your dogs be run over by steamrollers. All right. So we got 2 more shows with guests. Hopefully one of them confirmed. Hopefully the second one will come to pass. And then the final show. So I don't see us doing projects for the rest of the year. It's just going to be shoot the breeze and interview people and have some fun. And I've still got to get the Christmas set up because I still like doing this. All right. So with that, let us do the last of the questions that get published and post and comments and things like that. And then we will wind her up for today. Hang on, got to prep this. Oh yeah, I got to talk about that. Okay. Evil wonkers. He said that a personal message still comes through. Yeah. Dutch, wasabi. All right, that's where I'm caught up here. Musubi is our state food. We even have an official Spam Musubi Day here. Wow. Okay. I am curious to learn about Musubi, which you will no doubt tell me on the Discord channel later, or I will look it up. Right now, I want Musubi. I haven't had Spam in so many years, and it is like totally keto friendly. We're going shopping this weekend. We didn't shop for a couple of weekends. We've been busy, too busy, and we're out of food. I will include in my shopping, you getting this, Mrs.? Shopping this week, a can of Spam. We need a okay. She just reminded me, I'll fess up something horrible here. So I'm an electrical engineer. I can fix anything electrical. My microwave oven commits suicide every 6 months. It's a switch that fails. It's a poorly designed switch system. And I have a home warranty company. So when it happens, I don't want to kill the time to do these kinds of repairs. So we get on the horn and we give them money, $40 or whatever it is, and they come out and they fix whatever appliance is dead. But I'm really tired of them coming out every 6 months and doing the same repair. Just pop the switch out. So when it committed suicide again a week and a half ago, I said, well, all right, I'm going to take a couple hours and I'm going to fix it myself. It is now irreparable. And I'm not going to bring the pros out and let them see the atrocities that I've committed on it. It's had a good life. It's had a good run. It's going away this weekend, and I'm up shopping for a new microwave. Well, that certainly makes sense, Andre. I would have expected you to speak German. We'll do a little more conversing in German over there. I took a few years of it in college. I wouldn't call myself good. Thank you very much, Gesundheit. I'm embarrassed for all of us now. It's that line. We are all the dumber for having heard it. Wir können Dutch sprechen. Keine problem. Good. I can speak German too with no problem. Kleine problem. How's that? English, Dutch, and Netherlands. Now, didn't you say, Andre, that you took a course in Dutch and got a B? You don't speak English, you speak American. Very good. And thank you for translating into, oh yeah, Hebrew. It looks like Yiddish, but it's Hebrew. Drama is over. Yes, that's dramatic. Goodness. My Yiddish is bad. My Yiddish is schlecht. I read a sign every week. Yes, you do. And I'll still have creative signs up for the next 3 shows. Only discovered drama back in September, says Betland. Okay, but happy to be a small. Okay, so I'm sorry. I want to do live shows all day. And again, there will be live shows. But for those who are watching, go to youtube.com/user/total seminars channel, all one word, and look under playlist. I got 120 shows under my belt there with projects and fun, and most of them wouldn't need updating. A few of them. As tough as losing a dog. It's like losing my wife. I hope not. Goodness. Yeah, well, almost. Will the new format still be live? That is my intent. Yes, because again, that's my personal thing. I will do it live. It will probably be later in the day after work, because it's not going to be a total seminars thing. So they're not going to want me doing my show in the middle of work hours. So it'll be evening US hours. I know that means some of you Europeans are either going to have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning or catch the show on archive. But it's going to serve a greater US audience so people can get done with work and catch the show. I wouldn't. I get done with work and I go home. The last thing I want to do is watch a tech show. But the first thing I want to do is conduct a tech show. Musubi. Okay. And which one is the hard syllable? Musubi, musubi, musubi. Musubi. Yeah. I thought I had that right. Musubi. Okay. I say I am going shopping for spam. Makes me hungry. It's good stuff. Trey Dilla, welcome back. Good to see you again, mon ami. All right. So we got 3 minutes of show left. I got nothing. I guess here's the last thing I can do here. So I have this note: upcoming episodes tentative. Greg Kurtzer and Skip Grube from Rocky Linux will be joining us next Friday. Greg is, the titles get really weird when you start talking about organizations like his. He is a public benefit corporation. He's not a CEO. He is certainly a founder and he's an executive officer. And I don't know, but either way, he's the guy who founded, excuse me, CentOS. And then having moved on from that, founded Rocky. Now that's really fascinating because it all starts with Red Hat. And then there's an upstream and there are several downstream distros. CentOS was their upstream distro. Now they use Alma Linux. And then their downstream distros now include Rocky. So he's had experience on both sides of the upstream downstream coin. I want to talk to him about FOSS development. I want to talk to him about how upstream and downstream works, what that relationship is, a little bit about the company. I want to talk about the developers and the I selected him as a target to reach out to because they had the first Red Hat distro that ran on Raspberry Pi. And that's where Skip Gloob comes in. Skip is the maintainer of the Raspberry Pi image for Rocky Linux. So they should be fascinating. Tentatively the following week, Owen Williams and or Daniel Schurman, it's a U with an umlaut, from Mix. Again, talking about FOSS development, about development in general, talk a little bit about the product in specific. And I want to talk with them in particular about how FOSS survives. Bottom line is there's a lot of volunteers, but it takes cash too. And so they gratefully accept donations. And if you're using FOSS software and it means something to you, if it's part of your life, you should be helping keeping them alive. So things we are not going to do under the aegis of drama, but we will still be exploring under whatever future form my new show turns into. We will be doing PoE and astrophotography and pipe wire and magic mirrors and encryption certificates. I'll keep you abreast of my wind turbine or my alternate energy projects. I finally picked a generator that I'll be able to use for the water wheel and for the steam engine. I'm going to let the family get me that for Christmas. That's going to be a patient project. It's going to take all year to do it all. Coming up next week, Mike's show, regular show on both Monday and Wednesday for the moment, unless I get a wild hair and see if I can find him somebody really cool to talk to. Steve Nicholson was here this past Wednesday. He will be back again on December 28th. He and Mike are going to do Total Seminars, the year in review, which I know, knowing those two, that it's going to morph into all kinds of topics. Should be fun. All right, let me see the last posts here, and then we're going to wind it up for the week. So Tradilla turns up and says hello, and so hello, goodbye. No hard syllable. Okay. Musubi. You did Musubi. I'm trying to do it monotone, so there's no hard syllable. Sort of the first, Musubi. Okay. Man, I am usually good with names from just about any part of the world. I'm going to guess that that's a Central or South African name, maybe even Ivory Coast, but Adeobi Egbuano. I'm pretty sure about the Egbuano. Adeobi. Anyways, hi. And I apologize for butchering your name. I'm sure I did a terrible job of it. So it's Japanese Orient notorious for lack of syllable emphasis. Wait a minute. I took a year of Japanese. I found plenty of syllable emphasis. How many hours later will the new format be? Don't know yet. We're still in the pre-planning stages. However, when I say that, it's really loose. If I don't get what I need as far as support goes from the people that I'm hoping for support, I will just make a unilateral decision. I am Dave, and it's my show, and I will do it at night. And so, and the time will be, I don't know, what time is it? So, okay, let's start now. So it'll turn up. Should make you a short intro with music to play before you go live. It's something that I've looked at, and it's something that I've looked at to do on Mike's show. So yeah, happy to talk with you about that. That would be kind of fun. But I will tell you, we did many of you have seen Mike's Udemy shows. We took those shows, they get repackaged in a lot of different ways for a lot of different markets. And one of them is a bundle for schools. And if you go way back into the early Udemy days, every episode used to start out with some music. Somebody asked about it a couple of weeks ago. We used some music called A Spy in the Cereal Box. Bump, 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 ba-dum, bump, ba-dum, bump, something like that. And it's great. It's cute. But students were watching 1, 2, 3 episodes. We marketed this in schools and had that on there. And so they would watch 1, 2, sometimes 3 episodes in a class, and hearing that over and over and over 3 times in a row, every day, 5 days a week, they came at us with pitchforks and torches. And so that was kind of the impetus to make intro music and intro bumper music go away. But, you know, I got a once a week thing. I could do it. However, you know, you get those. Thank you, Andre. It does appear on my phone, on my Discord stuff. People do binge shows on Discord, not on Discord, on the archives. And that may, so if they're short enough, it shouldn't be a big deal. It'll be fun. We'll talk about that. Shenanigans, steam engine. Oh yeah, definitely on the steam engine. Steam power, I love the concept of steam power. Okay, you'll pop in earlier next week. Great. Yeah, see you on Monday and Wednesday for Mike's show, and mine again on Freitag with amazing food and amazing games. And okay, so let's wind this puppy dog up. As ever and always, my eternal gratitude to Mike Myers, without whom this show wouldn't have existed in the beginning. And now all the nice folks who support us at Total and NCG with time and resources. And they let me take the time to do this instead of doing direct projects. And I'm very grateful for that. Thank you, guys. My most heartfelt thank, of course, goes to you and everyone who comes here to participate live or catching up on the archives, sending me emails, finding us on Discord and working on with us there. You guys are all great, and I'm loving this. I'm sounding like I'm doing my final goodbye. I'm not. We still got 3 weeks. I am Dave Rush. I'm the senior instructor at Total Seminars, resident pie specialist. I wish you a great weekend. Please take care of each other, take serious steps to stay healthy, and if at all possible, call or visit your parents. Never forget, technology is great, but the greatest resource we have are you and I. And with that, I will bid you good night. It's a short show, so I'll pop over on Discord shortly after I answer forum questions, and I'll see you at the AMAs next week. Until then, I am out of here.